Hi, my name is Joe Modulewski, the development director at Limited Run Games.
And I'm Dimitris Giannakis, the lead developer at Limited Run Games, and you're listening to the Scene World podcast.
Hi, it's this thing. I'm that guy over here. I don't remember who I am. He's somebody else.
Ooh.
And yeah, in a minute, we're going to be talking to HPMan, who is
Part of the dumping scene.
Yes, the dumping scene. Yeah, he's the guy that kind of retro engineered Paprium to run on emulators. We're also going to have a special guest host with us. Guilherme Chrinéa will be with us in a minute. He'll be sitting in on it and helping us think of questions.
Just like last time with the news section.
Yes.
Because he knows more about the Mega Drive than the two of us.
So before that, there's some news. This is the second time we're doing this.
Anyway,
the first time the recording didn't work.
We should mention, however, in this interview is a bit special because I mean I'm looking at the comments on YouTube, on the YouTube versions of past episodes, and people were like, it's like AI, fake, whatever. None of our interviews were ever fake, but it's the first time.
What interview did they think was an AI fake?
Roy Schild.
That's not recent.
Yeah, and Robert Murzek. Those two people were suspicious about, but they were real. Anyway, and here's the thing though. It's the first time that for once we blur out some sections that show source code because we don't want to hate or hurt Paprium.
Well, not only that, but we're not showing HPMan's face, and we're not giving his actual name because obviously, he is part of the cracking thing, making this thing work on emulators. But because of that, we're also not showing when he's showing us some things on his screen, and we are going to blur out if there's any code or anything like that because we don't want to be getting a message from somebody saying, "Hey, take down my code." So
that's you summarized it perfectly. But
yeah,
that's exactly how.
So,
but anyway, it's basically in English because before he only did interviews in French. So there you go. So another exclusive for you. And now we can jump to the news.
Now we can jump to the news. Yes. So news. I'll start because I'm just looking at this. I just saw this.
Okay, so something else than Matt Gray and
something other than that. Yes.
Okay.
This is as of 3 hours ago.
Ooh.
So ahead of schedule, the Commodore International Corporation with CEO Perry Fractic, Chris Simpson, signed the final contracts in the Netherlands. Acquiring all 47 original Commodore trademarks.
Ooh.
And nice. They have made the final payment, locking in the deal.
Ooh, nice.
So, and there's a picture that they put up of, it's Perry Fractic and a bunch of people sitting around a table, and there's David Pleasance in the back. He's just happy to be there. A lot of other people who I don't recognize off the top of my head. But it's a thing. It's official. No Bill Hurd.
Is it now official that no Bill Hurd?
No. He's just not in the picture. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's actually.
That still couldn't be verified.
No.
Whew.
So it's a thing. It's official. Then there is a machine that's for sale. You can get that online. And it's an Ultimate 64,
right?
In a brand new case, which is cool. I'm not gonna
RGB.
Some of them are RGB. The clear one is, but the brown one isn't.
Yeah,
and that's the brown one's the one that's selling. Apparently, people want the brown one.
Really?
Because why wouldn't you?
It's a shitty brown one.
I mean, that's the color. That's the color it came in.
That's the color
shit brown is the color that they sold them in.
But that was the color of diarrhea.
Yeah. Yeah, but
if you think about it, it's pretty icky.
If you think about it, at the time, nobody knew like this aesthetic.
Nobody knew what computers are supposed to look
exactly,
like.
Yeah, the beige aesthetic that came later on with the 64C and the Amiga and whatnot and everything else. At that point, in like 1982, nobody knew that that's what was going to happen. So yeah, having like a loaf of bread with keys is basically that's as valid as. I mean, look at the Apple II. The Apple II is a wedge. It's a big giant with a keyboard.
And the interesting thing is, it's the C64C and the bread bin are only 4 years apart, but they are looking like so different, like from a different time.
Yeah, well, so much happened within that amount of time.
The C64C really looks timeless and modern.
Yeah.
So that is why many people think that's just a keyboard and not a computer inside.
Yep. I've seen so many listings. It's
slim enough that people think it's just a keyboard. Yeah.
I've seen so many listings on like eBay and stuff where people are selling a C64 and they think that the keyboard is a keyboard and that the computer is the disk drive, because that's a big heavy ass thing with a
really
yeah. Which I can understand why you would think that, but But yeah, so that's a thing. They've done it. And also,
I had a listing where somebody was selling a C64, and it was just a green monitor for the C64.
Right.
And I told the seller, like, your listing is wrong, by the way. You're not selling the computer. You are selling a monitor in green, not color. That is for the C64. And she replied something like, so what? C64.
Yeah, people don't. People don't get it anymore.
I'm correcting her, and she still thinks she is right. That's the best one.
Talking about new machines for sale,
right? Anyway, you said there's a news piece about Matt Gray's situation on C64 audio. That's what you said.
I saw somewhere about
because I would need that link for the news.
I will get it. I think it came in an email because I got the Chris Abbott emails that they won't stop sending me even though I unsubscribe. And this one had a whole, because the C64 audio site is also closing down.
Really?
But not really. It's closing down to be used for like they're doing like they're doing something. They're doing a product. So like they're selling something, selling tickets, whatever. They need the site for that. So the rest of the site that's being used right now is coming down, so they can turn it into a ticket site for this thing. And again, that's in my email. Let me see if I can find it. I'll pull that up here. Oh lordy, so many freaking emails. Chris Abbott, there you go. What's up? Okay. What's with Matt Gray? It's no secret Matt has been going through rough times. The world of employment has just broken for people our age who want to work, and it's having to close down 6581records.com site and send its remaining physical stock to Protovision. However, there's a chance to potentially
Protovision
help.
It was.
Yeah. There's a chance to potentially help Matt and snag a bargain. Many backers of Reformation 5 have been very kind. So I don't know if I guess you didn't get the email. I'll forward that to you.
Okay.
And he also talks about why C64 audio is closing down, but not really. And they're basically all the stuff on C64 audio that you can get now, they're transferring to Bandcamp.
Oh, actually, yeah, right. Matt Gray Reformation. So I guess my physical album will never ship.
I mean, it might still. So speaking of, we're talking about machines, a C64 that you can purchase now,
Right.
which is the Ultimate 64 in a new case. Also announced was, yeah, where did it go now? Oh, over here is where it went.
Mm-hmm.
Also announced is Retro Games Unlimited has announced the C64 Mini Black Edition.
Ooh. Okay.
Still not a real keyboard. It's the Mini, but it's in black.
Like the C16 plus 4.
Kinda. It's.
Is
that
it's for just Romania, Hungary, and all those East European countries where the C16, or sometimes it was called plus 4, was spread more?
No, it doesn't really look like that because the C16 had light gray keys, and the black case. This is just a black C64 Mini. Otherwise, it's identical to the C64 Mini. They also say that it's going to be available October 24th of 25, and it will be shipped with the best modern games. Like they're shipping it with Sam's Journey, Steel Ranger, Pig Quest, Yeti Mountain, stuff like that. 25 of what they're calling neo-classic games, which are new games for a classic system.
Just looking at it, the Commodore 16 had a whopping 121 colors. That's not bad.
Yeah, that was, those other systems. I remember when I was younger, one of the things that, I'll give a little bit of background here. When I was younger and had just had my C64 and was getting into learning how everything worked, one of the ways I learned how to really program was not by reading the book, but by loading up different things in the 1541's demo disc, the test disc and whatnot that it comes with, and then looking at how those things work, because they were all in BASIC. There's one which is a color test, which puts all 16 colors on screen in little blocks so you can see what they look like. But one of the things that I noticed then was that the plus 4 and the C16 versions of that program had like all 256 different shades of whatever shown. And of course, it would work on the 64, but you wouldn't see the colors because it can't make that. But I remember being kind of blown away at the fact that these other machines had so many more colors to them than what I was working with the 64. And, it's one of those things where it's like, it's a really cool, like, it would be really interesting to see.
The reason why they failed for more modern graphics in games and stuff is missing features like sprites.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of things missing. Like, again, a C16 had 16K of memory. Basically it was essentially a beefed up VIC-20. It had like 40 columns, but it didn't use the VIC-2 chip. It was a different. I think it was that wasn't the TED, was it? I think it was.
It was.
Yeah, the TED.
Also called MOS 751 or 851.
Right.
01.
Right. It was a good chip, but it lacked things
that
like.
That was actually the CPU, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and as I said, the sound was generated by I think it's called TED. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So on the C16 and the plus 4, any of that line, the audio, the graphics came from the TED chip, which was 320 by 200, 121 colors, and sound also came from the TED chip, which was 2 channels and white noise. So had a lot of things that didn't. And mind you, these are things that came out after the C64. These are newer machines, but what really doomed them to failure, I think, aside from no sprites, aside from inferior sound hardware, was the fact that they were not compatible with the C64.
Because of those missing features, I guess.
Right. The 128 did as well as it did only because it had a 64 mode. Because that's, which was really the beginning of the whole backwards compatibility thing. Because before that, no one really worried about that. You make a new machine and it's a different machine. You don't worry about whether it works with the old one that you had. A C64 isn't compatible with VIC-20 software. To some degree it is, but for mostly it's not. And so the C16 and Plus 4, the Plus 4 on paper would have been a good machine. Because
yeah, they said the TED project was made to save on the amount of chips used, so it could combine more than one function, which is actually what the Spectrum ZX did, right?
Yeah, but on paper as well, the Plus 4, it had 64K of memory, 64K RAM, 64K ROM. It had the enhanced, it had the TED with the extra colors and stuff. It had it had built-in software. It had your it had a word processor, a database, a spreadsheet, and something else, because that was the function keys. So and it ran, it had an 8501, which is a variation of the 6502 that was in everything else. The 64 and 128 had the 6510 or 8510, or 8500 actually is what it was. This had a variation of that, but it also ran at 1.75 megahertz, I think. So it was considerably faster than the C64 that came before it.
Right.
But it didn't work with anything from the C64. It was a different. It also had a different BASIC. It had BASIC 3.5, something like that. I think it had.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it had a more beefed up version of BASIC than the BASIC 2.0 of the 64. And that was one of the 64's biggest issues was the old school, BASIC. It was using the same BASIC that the PET used.
Mm-hmm.
So
it means looks like you know a lot.
A bit. I know. Again, I remember looking at those machines. There were like 4 of them. The 116, the 16. The Plus 4 and the 264, they were all kind of just variations on the same theme.
Wasn't it the 16, 116 and Plus 4? I think those 3.
That's what I said.
Oh.
The 16, the C16, the C116.
I said 4, differently. You said 116.
Yeah, and there was a 264 as well. Or maybe it was just planned. There was a planned 264.
I think it was planned.
Yeah. I don't know what was different about that.
Did you know that the planned in Zack McCracken is called Chuck?
No, I did not.
No, you do.
It's one of those cool machines like the Commodore B128, which is like, it's a cool machine on paper, but nothing uses it. The B128 was a business machine, but that had a 6509 at like 2 megahertz. Also had a Z80 or an 8088, I think. It used the VIC-2 for graphics, so it had sprites. It had raster interrupts. It used a SID for sound. It was kind of like the follow-up to the PET, the newer version of that. But again, nothing really made use of it.
I thought the follow-up of the PET was the color PET.
Well, but the follow-up from that was the B128, which they put out. It was released in 82. It went from 82 to 84. And How many did they sell? Did they sell any? I know it's a rare machine to find now. It's rare to find it now, but I don't know. It was also capable of dressing up to 1 megabyte of RAM. It could run CPM. It could apparently also run DOS 125. It was sold in Europe.
Is that something you remember, or is that something you just read?
I'm looking at the
app?
Looking at it right now. It came with like 128 or 256K of memory built in. I don't know what the sales looked like. It's very rare to see one these days. But it's a cool machine on paper again. You know, it's one of those things that like it sounds like it would be cool, and it looks like a cool machine, but again, it wasn't compatible with anything. So, despite having a SID and a VIC-2 and all the other things that made the C64 a winning thing, this just didn't do it. I don't see. Yeah, I don't know how many were sold. It doesn't really say. I think it was also sold as like the Pet 2 or something. Or in Europe, it was the CBM 610.
Wow.
Yeah, the CBM 2 is the whole what the whole line is. And the funny thing is that they all have a SID chip, but because it runs at 2 megahertz, it can't actually use it.
Really? That's stupid.
Yeah.
That sounds like the 1541 routines were so bugged they had to slow them down on intention. By the way, I think I found the solution to my Gmail problem.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is what this is one suggestion that ChatGPT wrote, right? But this option is not there. Right? But I found a different thing in my Gmail settings. Let me show you. Man, I'm such a master.
You're gonna have fun editing this.
With Descript, piece of cake. I will just look for the keyword Gmail and funny.
I'll jump in real quick to say that while you're looking for that, so it's estimated that of that line, the CBM2 line, they produced maybe 5,000 or 6,000 models.
Ooh.
So that's not
a lot.
And of each model, and that they think maybe 10,000 were shipped in total.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot. That's why they're so rare now.
Isn't everything more expensive on eBay just because the seller writes rare in brackets?
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's totally.
That's how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is rare as long as you believe it is. And I always find that funny when you see an article 50 times by other sellers.
Yeah.
then you wonder how rare it is. I just sent you.
Yeah.
By the way.
I see that.
So, what do you think?
Maybe?
I will just say override filters.
Yeah.
That means shit. Because it says it says it's or sometimes delaying it for weeks because filters are acting up.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
You might want to turn off the one above that too that says don't use my past actions to predict which messages are important. Because yeah, because it might just, because you haven't gotten a message from this email address before, it might just ignore that because you haven't interacted with it.
And then after 8 weeks, it's like, okay, now we send it to you, so you see it at all.
Right.
Good eye, man. Good eye. But if that is the truth, then why nobody told me? We will find out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. How can somebody from Google Tech Support say, like, ask the community, we are out of ideas? Man, they should know their system better than me.
Yeah.
Or ChatGPT or
you
whatever.
would think.
I mean, it's one of those rare services where they actually have tech support you can contact for free.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait. So where was it? I closed the tab. Where was it again? See. Okay, wait. No, not here. Okay, so it was in settings and then inbox. Okay. And you say, use my past actions to predict which measures are important to me. Perhaps that is actually the problem.
Yeah.
So perhaps I should try that first and then override filters past.
You're doing both.
Yeah, but if I don't use filters, then also spam isn't filtered. And then all the spam is shitting in.
Oh, see, I've got all that stuff off, and then just my mail app filters out the spam.
Right, but in the latest update of Vivaldi, they removed the AI spam filter for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Probably they had a problem with it, and then they removed it.
Yeah. And then just didn't bother putting it back in. You don't use Opera anymore, do you?
Huh?
You don't use Opera anymore, do you?
Yeah, since they discontinued Opera Mail and Vivaldi stepped in. But it's basically a successor because Opera used to have the mail client M2 and Vivaldi has the mail client M3. Because Vivaldi is done by the previous Opera team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't used that in a minute. You used to be like, you were like the evangelist for the Opera browser.
Right, but since they moved to a Chinese company, which we actually had in the podcast.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I've been using Arc as my main browser, but now they're ending that.
I know, I saw that. Yeah.
They switched over to like some like new AI browser. It's like I don't want that crap. A, I don't want that crap, and B, it only works on Apple Silicon, so I can't even run it.
Okay, but let's see. Now let me manual check for new mails. And now let's see what Gmail says. What is the latest mail from? The latest mail is from May. Yeah, perhaps I have to. No. I mean, the changes should be instant, right?
You would think.
Well, I mean, I can disable the filters, and if it's too much of a mess, I can re-enable them. It's just one click, so it's not a biggie. Gmail interface is so confusing.
It is. It's awful.
So many options. Okay, so the option is inbox and then override filters. That is what ChatGPT told me I should use. Okay. Now let's see what it's doing. Nothing. Yeah, but perhaps I have to reopen. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
We are getting interrupted.
Yes.
All right.
Your turn.
Let me talk about my news. Anyway, so news number one. We will be at Gamescom in August.
Woohoo!
As usual, Hall 10.2, family and friends in the retro area. Find us, Scene World booth. There you go. Yep. It's from the 18th to Sunday that week, so 3rd week of August. You are welcome. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, other news. Wait. I accidentally closed it. Wait. Okay. Other news. CZ Projekt announced new standalone cartoon in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe called Cyberpunk Edge Runners 2. And there is a trailer on YouTube for that. So
interesting.
Yeah. And they also released a new Cyberpunk 2077 update 2.3.
Okay.
Which is like new cars, new locations, and the community was actually pretty disappointed about it. So it's not the big content update like a new love story or whatever, or
now,
a lot more missions than what they hoped for.
Right. Now this is the first part was this is an animated kind of show based on the 20. Yeah. I feel like I'm surprised that there isn't more of that because we've seen
it's coming more.
Well, I mean, with different game properties, we've seen kind of, a lot of.
There have been Tomb Raider, I believe.
Yeah, and we've seen more and more. Like, there's a Last of Us TV show with
exactly.
With Pedro Pascal. There's been a couple of there's a Halo, I believe, show.
And
Halo.
I mean, one of the earliest examples would be Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, which is actually a Broderbund game.
The children's game show?
Exactly, and then they made a children's game show out of the computer game. And that actually was not only in America, but also they made a German version for Germany. And now, since a few years, there is actually a cartoon series on Netflix. So
yeah, well, there's a lot of these games are becoming more and more cinematic, and
I mean, let's be honest. Who in the world thought, let's take a 1984 computer game that was later turned into a kids show and put it as a cartoon show on Netflix? I mean, most people who watch the show, because it's aimed for kids, they don't even know the origin of the cartoons, right? Right. Yeah, I just wanted to say it. So, if you want to watch something, it might be beneficial to actually watch the Carmen Sandiego series on Netflix. Actually, not bad. Now I have so much to add to this article because we went above and beyond. Yeah, it's no problem. Fortunately, I can read it. So all right. Other news. Commodore, which you mentioned before, is now an X at the handle VR. Sorry. Commodore is now an X with the handle VR Commodore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
About time, because I didn't have a Twitter or an X before. So.
Right. Yeah.
See how that works. I'm seeing
exactly
some people being a little antsy about this, seeing some people being jazzed. I fall in the tentatively jazzed, because again, even if say that Perifractic is just doing this for the publicity or something, still I would rather it be in his hands than in some holding company in the Netherlands.
I mean, look at it this way. The first company who had the rights to the trademark, which was Tulip, they went bankrupt.
Right. Yeah.
With their Webbit. Commodore 64 Webbit.
The Webbit, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Well, I mean, it sold so little that until 3 years ago, you could still buy them in the new old stock in Germany, but it was a Dutch version, and I don't speak Dutch.
What, the Webbit?
The Webbit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't get one because I'm not learning Dutch for this.
Well, also they sucked, so.
I know. Because the reason why it had the Commodore 64 name in it was it had a version of C64 CS. And because the hardware was basically a 486, and Windows 3.1. Holy cow. With a modified C64S that didn't even run in the 100% full speed of the Commodore 64 because the hardware was too slow to emulate the C64 in real time on its own emulator that was packed with the machine. Holy cow. Yeah. All right. Other news. The original Sonya plate will be at the Evo in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Which is a fighting tournament event. And she is at the Atari booth to talk about the upcoming Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. That's with a K. Yeah.
And who is this?
Yeah, her name is Carrie Ann. Now, the last name, give me a second. It's Carrie Ann Hoskins.
Carrie Ann Hoskins.
Yeah.
Oh, Carrie Hoskins, yes, okay.
Carrie Ann Hoskins.
Gotcha.
Right. And, yeah.
She is a model and a video game actress, so specifically video games.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have to admit, I'm really. I mean, if you go down, April 24th, she actually has a video. From the successor of her that is now bringing Sonya plate.
Okay.
Yeah. called Sophia Stunts. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Anyway, well, the good thing I think about Carrie Ann Hoskins actually doing this is that I saw on her Instagram that she actually recently lost her son.
Mm-hmm.
So actually pretty good that despite of her catastrophes,
yes.
Yeah, thank you.
I did read
in her
that...
life, she is still motivated to, not give herself up.
I did read that she has she had twins, and both apparently suffer from cerebral palsy. So I'm not sure if that's the one whom she lost.
Yeah, that's the one.
So that's awful. Always awful to hear that.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, her son Zachary passed away in about 6 weeks ago, it says.
Exactly, so it's still fresh. So yeah. I was actually quite surprised to see that she, is still going out there and,
Yeah.
A lot of people would say, let me alone and suffer. And, rest in peace. But there she goes. She is still strong and going despite that, which is how to say, noteworthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just my thought.
Sometimes you just gotta get out there and carry on.
Next to Sonia played is Old School Rally is back. With 11 from 13 cars that have been removed because they got a DMCA takedown notice.
Right.
And so 11 from 13, and by the time you listen to this, hopefully all 13s have been restored to the game.
Okay.
With modifications to not copy and
to not infringe.
But the thing is,
change the hood ornament.
They didn't infringe it in the first place,
right?
Because they used openly copyright-free drafts for the car models.
Right.
But they still received a DMCA takedown notice. But they decided not to go into the law court action and do as they please and said, okay, despite we are not in the wrong, we will replace the car models anyway. So Old School Rally is back. Other thing is YouTuber called Poacher made a YouTube video about Pico, which is a publisher for republishing retro games.
Right.
And he's there. The video is about how Pico saved over 100 abandoned games. So that might be interesting for you to watch.
Yeah.
Well, and also GOG brought
good old
something.
Games.
Yeah, exactly. Got something now called Dream List. Now you can vote for your favorite games to be returning to the service for preservation.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. And also on the news site timeextension.com, our co-mod of this episode actually received an article. Here's what the NES titles of Contra and Castlevania 2 could have sounded like on the Master System. And you said in our last recording that we didn't publish that the Master System has an interesting sound chip.
It does. The Master System I remember that for being. I never had a Master System when I was younger.
Me neither.
Yeah, I know, but they don't know. My I had a friend with a Master System. I had another friend with an NES, and I had a C64. So we would alternate whose house we were going to play games. And the NES has a very specific sound to it. You can tell just by listening to the music. That's an NES song.
Right.
With the 64, oftentimes the SID chip has a very distinctive sound. A lot. You can kind of be like, that's definitely a C64. Sega, the Master System is a much more kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's there's not much that would make me, if I heard it, I wouldn't be like, that's a Master System song. You know, there isn't much bass to it. It doesn't have like the distinctive kind of like the that like a Nintendo game would have, or like the bass farts that a C64 would have. But
I mean, their machines use Texas Instruments sound chips.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is special. How many other computers or consoles do you know using Texas Instruments sound chips? And Yamaha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Texas Instruments 76489. That's a programmable sound generator, and it also uses the YM2413.
YMC.
Yeah, FMEM kind of, you know. That's the OPLL. So,
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's got an interesting sound. It's not so bassy. It's kind of yeah, I don't even know how to describe it really. It's just a different kind of noise. But it's interesting to see how. It's interesting though to see what people have been able to do with it, because to me, like, you know, I was always raised on the SID. Like, NES music all sounds the same to me. Like it's nothing's really exciting with NES.
It's actually not true. I mean, they have 4 sound channels.
I said to me.
To you.
To me, it sounds kind of like the same. You know, it doesn't...
Well, the thing is, they had less waveforms. Perhaps that's why.
Right. That was the thing. Like they were like, some channels were just, some of the voices were just for this type of waveform. Whereas the SID, you got 3 channels, but you can do anything you want with those 3 channels. And technically, I guess you could say it's got a 4th because it has the digi channel. You know, the that kind of extra thing. But either way, it's cool to see what people have done with it since the olden days.
Yeah.
Speaking of sound, since I don't know that we actually recorded this, we should mention that hang on, let me figure this out again. We should mention that Peter Clark, a musician who did the music for Bubble Bobble and Gunstar and Kinetic and Scooby-Doo, a bunch of different games on the C64, has passed away.
But you already mentioned that. I said I
did we talked about things, but was it recorded?
Of course it was recorded.
Oh, I didn't realize we recorded it.
I will just swap it around. No, not a problem. I also got the links already.
Okay, cool.
Last news I've got is Novobox now offers new packaging products.
Mm-hmm.
Digital printed steel cases with inside silver or black from 1 unit per title. It's interesting. Price is €4.70 per unit for 1 to 4 disc editions. Lead time is 6 weeks. Quite interesting. So, because, you know, Quenel got, when we interviewed him about Perpium twice for Watermelon Games, he always mentioned how he's a packing specialist and all this industry packaging thing.
Right.
And how complex it is and stuff. It's quite interesting to read. I mean, 100 units per title is not so much. And 6 weeks lead time from planning to production is actually pretty short. You know?
Yeah.
It's interesting, when we had an interview with them last year, they actually had the rubber keyed computer documentary for the of the ZX Spectrum. They actually made the packaging for that because he had it among his presentation material. I was like, oh my god.
Huh.
I know those guys, and we interviewed them for the documentary. That's quite interesting that he did that they did the packaging for the Kickstarter edition for the physical one.
Yeah.
That would be all my news.
Okay, then let's go and
that's a long one.
Have ourselves a dump.
Right.
In the dumping scene.
But you said it's probably not called dumping scene.
No, it's not. It's not. I just think it's really funny calling it the dumping scene.
What did you think it was called, actually?
I don't recall what it's called. What would we call it? I guess probably like the it's basically cracking, right? It's cracking games.
Cracking would include removing copy protection, which actually it did. So it is cracking.
Right, yeah.
It is actually cracking.
Yeah.
You're right. He cracked an uncrackable game in how many days he said he needed?
I don't recall.
It's part of the interview, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not there right now.
Was it 30 days?
Something
was
like
it
that.
4 weeks?
Well, 30 days is 4 weeks.
Either one of them.
Yeah.
Depending on the week, it could also be 28,
yeah.
29, 30, or 31.
Was it 30 days, 4 weeks, or a month? I don't know.
Holy shit. That's stupid. Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Wonderful. All right, so let's...
yes, let's go there. Let's see that.
All right. So, today we have another guest, as always. And today we are talking to HPMan. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I mean, we have a very exciting topic today because we actually will be talking about dumping Peprium. Something that we were told for years from Chrinéa was not possible. So
dumping is easy. Figuring out how to make it work is more difficult.
Right. So thank you for taking the time and talking to us about it. I didn't know how much you want to reveal of yourself, but perhaps you could explain a bit about how did you get into the, I would say, dumping, or I would say, I don't know how you would describe yourself, hacking scene or emulation scene, or...
I do some kind of retro development.
Okay.
Retro programming, and sometimes I have a hobby of disassembling games to see how things were made back in the days.
Right. So perhaps you want to talk about what your starting point was. I mean, going into Peprium probably didn't happen from yesterday to tomorrow, right?
No, it was in back in 2021, and I went into it because it was obviously some special game with many claims of what the game does or does not do. So we had to figure it out.
I see. And I remember, because we spoke earlier, you told me that actually before RetroArch you also had a version running in MAME
Yes, I had it running in MAME in November 21, but it wasn't public. And RetroArch went public just 20 days ago, something like that. 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So either they took a lot longer than me, or they didn't start until recently. I don't know.
But I remember you told me you didn't work on it alone. You also had help from, I think his name is Little Man Dumps.
Yes, his Twitter account. Yes, he did the dumping. He took the flash from the board and he read it. And he did publish it. You could download the Papriam ROM 4 years ago.
Okay. But from what I understood, the ROM, you couldn't do anything with it because I think you needed some preparation, right?
Yes, the flash is kind of scrambled with some XOR scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to figure this out to decrypt. It's not really cryptography, but you have to figure out what to do with the data to restore it to something you can read. Because the cartridge does this. There is some hardware between the flash and the console. So the console reads clear data, but if you open the flash, you got bad data.
So can you explain how you went about it? How you actually, I don't know, perhaps some steps. I think there was this French interview, and you also showed some stuff in this French interview.
Well, before we go into that, we're talking about Paprium, essentially.
Right.
So maybe we should kind of clarify before we go into how it was done. Clarify why it was not supposed to be able to be done, or at least what was said about it to make it,
I think they did it a lot. They did a lot of hardware for sound. It was the main purpose of the hardware was to make better sound on the Mega Drive. You can input audio from the cartridge port, so you can play anything you want in the cartridge, and the audio will come out from the console. It was their starting point, and apparently they upgraded to have the cartridge do decompression, sprite work, and so on.
Okay. Okay. So there was custom sound hardware essentially.
Yes, it's a STM32 microcontroller.
Okay.
And it runs some sound tracker software.
Okay. And this makes it difficult to dump for especially emulators because they can't emulate that particular hardware. Right?
You can what we do, we simulate the hardware. We know what goes in, we know what goes out, but it's a box. It's a mystery box after that.
Right. Okay.
You can. There is no dump of the STM, so we don't know the exact code of it.
Right.
But here's the thing that confuses me. You said at the beginning it's already out since 4 weeks, but when I spoke with Guilherme about it, it appeared like it first appeared in the Brazilian retro scene for some reason.
Which one? RetroArch?
Yes.
Yes, I don't know where it comes from.
You actually don't know. Okay.
No.
Uh-huh.
If I knew, I would tell you I knew. but
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, Guilherme said to me probably some VPN was used, but perhaps you can explain yourself, Guilherme, what you figured or what your theory is about that.
It's just that the first news I read was in Brazilian media. So when Joerg sent me the link, he told me, look, this Brazilian news outlet is saying that Peprium is now playable, and then went there, and I guess Joerg went to the media share file, and then he found that the Brazilian flag was there, telling that someone from Brazil uploaded it. So, can you at least tell us to whom you've shared your work, or at least who was the first person to play the playable version of the game?
My version up to this point it wasn't public. I did make it public after the RetroArch release, but it wasn't published anywhere. It was just I did publish some screenshots and video, but it wasn't available.
And I'm also curious to know why you didn't made the main version public.
But well, when I did it, it was back in 21, so they had the Kickstarter going on. So I'm not here to kill business either.
I see.
And MAME, I think they wouldn't take games that are too close to their release.
So just to be clear,
they wait I don't know 3 or 4 years before adding games.
I see. So this version, this RetroArch version is it was recently developed. You didn't have it a while ago.
No input on it.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so it seems a bit unclear because so many people seem to have worked on it at the same time, right? It was not just you and little man dumps, but also other people, it appears. So it was like multiple versions kind of floating around in the last years, if I get that correctly.
Well, my version is didn't float anywhere. RetroArch, I don't know. It was made public recently, but I don't know if it's old work or anything.
Okay, so it's not totally clear. Okay.
But if I figure it out, the game, so someone else can do it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, just because Quinnell said in interviews, in hours, for example, it's impossible, doesn't mean it's impossible for real, right?
That's so. Yeah. When someone says something's impossible, that's usually the surest sign that someone's going to do it fairly.
Yes,
quickly.
It's a good motivation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want, perhaps you can share some of what you find out, because I see you already have OBS ready to share your screen.
While you do this, let me ask you just one more question. You said that the hardware responsible for the audio is the STM32 chip.
Yes.
Back then, when I was telling everyone that it was some kind of special chip called Datenmeister and stuff, so it's just the STM32, or is it something else along with the chip? What is it?
It's a STM chip. There's some FPGA.
Okay.
There's 2 megabytes of extra memory.
Okay. So in the cartridge, they just covered the chips with epoxy. So anyone wouldn't know.
So is it working?
Yes, now it's working.
Yeah, now we got it.
Yeah. We can see.
Okay. Yes.
Exactly that photo we saw before. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's ladies and
Oh
gentlemen, is
dear.
it that's the
Oh dear.
Datenmeister ship. That's the
Oh
Datenmeister.
So
dear.
it's basically branded the set of components as Datenmeister, but it's off the shelf. You can buy.
Oh dear. Oh wow. That is. Oh. Oh.
So you have STM here.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Mhm.
Max 10 FPGA. You have the flash, 64 megabit, so 8 megabytes, and 2 megabytes SDRAM, I think it is.
So the STM does the audio, and the other FPGA does the special effects, the zoom
No,
thing and stuff.
FPGA is just there's a 8 kilobyte RAM inside it to exchange data.
It's a bank switcher.
No. It's
No?
it's a dual power RAM, so the Mega Drive can write it, and the STM
Mhm.
can write it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So it's a setup to exchange data easily.
Okay.
And about the audio, it was stored in the game in which format? Because the dumped version, the one that is public now, uses
Yes.
MP3, so it's I think it's the MP3
Yeah.
is low quality.
No, it's like some tracker files. I don't know if you know about it, like Defel Mask or.
Yeah, okay. It's
So it's some kind of
a custom
software like
tracker.
that. Right, it's a custom one because they have 6 FM channels from the Mega Drive, 4 PSG channels from the Mega Drive, and they did 16 PCM channels for samples.
I see. So do you think that at some point it will be possible to play the game with the original sound instead of the workaround?
If you figure out the tracker format.
Oh, okay.
But
so
it's
that should be emulated separately.
Yes. I did extract some tracks, but tracker format is like on this row you have command I don't know, command 10, but what is a command 10? You have to figure out everything.
From my understanding, I mean, I'm not a coder or something. From my understanding, the old platforms have the problem that those old computers and game consoles actually have to deliver their own player for the custom file format, right? It's not like the it's not like you already have like a sound format like on a PC or something. So I guess you also need to figure out the tracker format and then make a player for it that makes it playable, right?
That's like
Yes.
the SID when in the early days,
Exactly.
someone like Rob Hubbard would have to make his own player for the music that he's making
Exactly.
before they kind of standardized it and stuff. I
Yeah.
cannot get over this picture. Is this just globs of epoxy, or are we looking at tape too? Like,
Yes.
what is?
I have pictures.
Oh my! Oh, so they stuck. Oh god!
Right,
Yeah.
they had a plate over it, so it's kind of nice design, but
Yeah.
the plate falls off because the epoxy isn't glue exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's not epoxy is not a great transfer of heat. It's not a fantastic heat sink.
No, but it's not to cool off the thing. It's
No,
just,
not at all. No.
It's just for the show or trying to protect it.
I guess AJ is worried about the chip getting hot.
Well, yeah, I mean we've heard about some of these newer games like potentially blowing up or setting your machine on fire, and here's something that's where your FPGA chips are slathered in epoxy.
But I think the game under fire was because the the transistors or something were the wrong voltage.
Yeah, I'm thinking also of my old, like the old power supply on my C64, which was a brick full of epoxy with everything inside it. And when it started to overheat at one point, and I was just like, well, I'll just dump it in a bucket of water because it's already completely sealed up with epoxy anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
And that worked for like 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they used. So some alcohol or acid. I don't know. To kill it off.
Yeah, there's actually a documentation online where he documented various steps of failing to remove the epoxy, and so that is also available if somebody's interested.
Oh God, this is.
There's a whole GitHub with documentation about that.
Yes. But the target is the flash. Once you have this part, it's over.
Yeah, you need access to the legs, right?
It's
pins.
It's balls under the chip.
Oh yes,
it's
a
BGA chip.
In this case, yes, but in the other cases, you need the leg access, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. So he used different kind of socketing. It seems different kind of soldering also.
Well, I think it's all surface mount, but that's just
Yes, it's a pretty standard card. It's it has a back component, so it costs a little bit more to do, but it's 4 layers, I think, the PCB.
Yeah.
Wow. So, do you want to know how to figure out the file from the flash?
Yeah.
So they made a big mistake in this flash.
Mistake is good.
So you take the RAM, the RAM data, and you convert it to graphics. And sometimes you can see things, and so you see it. Well, you don't have the habit of opening ROMs, but it's like garbage. When you see it's random. When there is a code, you see it looks different. I know it sounds silly, but it looks different. And you have this area here. So it's a large area of some kind of gel bars pattern, I would say, to describe.
Right.
And this area here also. So basically this is an empty space that was left off by Watermelon. And since it's an XOR function, I don't know if you know it. So the value, the data value, it goes through XOR key to modify the value, and to restore the value, you pass it through the same XOR key. So it means when the value is 0, you can read the key, and this is a block of 0 values. So that's a big security issue. And once you figure out this part, it's really fast to break the thing. It's very low attempt at security. Because they didn't scramble address. Some games back in the 90s, they did data scramble, but also address scramble. So when the CPU asks one address, you don't know where it lands on the actual memory. So it can be much more complex, but this one is super simple. And when you so you see it looks different when when you decrypt the thing. So you have code. Some data. You can see just by looking at the ROM, you can see. So this is graphics.
Yeah.
Just by looking at ROM, you know a bit about the game.
So there are uncompressed graphics in the ROM. I mean, if you open it in some kind of editor, you can see it.
You can see some of it, like this this stage. Some of the graphics are done by the Mega Drive, like the live bars and so on.
I see.
So it's not, this part is not compressed, but object sprites are compressed, are packed. Background tile data is packed. Almost everything is compressed.
Now it makes me wonder, because you said they made some mistakes with crumpling the data.
Yes.
Do you think it's because whoever did it didn't pay enough attention, or he actually didn't know what he was doing?
Or I mean, even is it uncommon for a Mega Drive or Genesis game to have uncompressed data on it?
Usually sprites are not compressed because you have to transfer them on the fly during gameplay. But tile data for background is loaded on a black screen between a stage, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you can waste a couple frames depacking it.
Okay.
And why did they do this mistake? My guess is they didn't want to scramble address because it causes maybe it causes trouble for updates. Because you can update the game.
Yeah, with a MegaWire thing, right?
With MegaWire, and maybe it was causing issues.
That's actually an interesting thing, because it was not clear to us. Is MegaWire actually a serious thing? I mean, will there ever be updates? So, because some people were theorizing it's just another marketing bullshit. No.
No. I have it somewhere.
Ah, okay.
So it's like a $2 Wi-Fi chip.
It's one of those, one of those ESP Wi-Fi chips that are in every damn thing. I've got
everything.
I've got a Commodore Wi-Fi modem. It's got one of those on it.
Yes.
That it's like that exact same board and everything.
Yeah.
The game right now, I think it has online ranking only. It's the only thing I seen.
Right.
But you can update the game, so it's not important to have online mods as long as MegaWire isn't available.
Right. I like how the antenna is printed on the board like that.
Yeah. That's
yes.
That's how they do that. It's
a model you buy
it has
everywhere.
it too. It's right up there on mine. On my Wi-Fi modem. It works pretty well. It picks up signals.
Yeah.
But also the ROM is doesn't have a lot of available space. So I don't know if they can add a lot to it.
If Quinnell ever comes and appears from wherever place he is hiding.
There haven't been updates for it to date, correct? It's just been
No, the MegaWire, nobody is supposed to have it. I think
okay.
it's just a couple happy few who had it, but it's not available. It was made in 2018.
Okay.
On the week 38, if I read it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Well, the design was made back then.
Okay.
Obviously, you can write anything you want.
Yeah. And that's from Watermelon Games. That's a thing for this. It's not a thing that was being invented by somebody else for some other Mega Drive concept. This was specifically for Paprium.
Yes, I think someone did a Wi-Fi cartridge for Mega Drive already. It's but it was the ESP was on the board of the cartridge.
And right, there's many. I've got to turn this off to grab it. There's a fair amount of those. Here's another one with that same little antenna thing on it, and it's a an RS-232 port. That's anything that can.
And this board from NGDev Team, this is Crowdbuster.
Right.
And you have a slot for Wi-Fi module. They didn't put it.
Yeah, I think everything has a Wi-Fi modem at this point. I think it's just like a.
It cost $2 or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's such a universal. Again, it's an RS2. If the machine can interface with an RS-232 port, it's a serial port, then you're good. It works.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. And it connects to the STM, so it's no problem to interface.
Right. Fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, what else can you show us? I mean, we heard also some stories, and I also saw, I think, in the GitHub repository where they had like copied sprites and stuff from
yes,
other games.
Yes, maybe you can show them. I don't have the page right here.
Yeah, we can throw things over this.
I have one example, I think.
Yeah,
this one.
Exactly, this one. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Interesting.
So,
but this is something that even in the old days, the Japanese developers used to use some references to make the graphics. So you have, I don't know, Schwarzenegger in every game because
yes.
they wanted to the picture of a big guy, and they used the pictures.
Yes, on the cover they would take.
Metal Gear,
frames,
for instance, has the guy from Terminator in the cover. So I guess I don't know. This isn't exactly, I don't know, theft or plagiarism, but it's kind of a way of doing things that it's, I don't know, it was at least common back in the 80s.
Yeah, but I mean, me as a layman, I wouldn't think to copy animation frames,
The thing is, if you look at they have a investor manual, and they claim they switched the pixel art artist because they copied frames.
Right, yeah, I heard about that. Yes. So they actually weren't aware of them doing it, and when they were aware,
so they were aware of some of them, and they reworked the sprites, but they missed. So this was it. So it's on the side. But this was this frame from all the screenshots, and this sprite it's from Street of Rage 2, I think.
Yeah.
So they say they fired the pixel artist and so on, but obviously there was other frames with inspiration.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's been done a lot in the past. This was a fairly common thing when these games were being still, actively developed, Mega Drive and whatnot. But when you're already under as much scrutiny as
Yes.
Watermelon was, with the decade of of silence before the game came out and all this stuff, you would think that they would try to do anything they could to not bring more nonsense on them.
Well, a lot of the sprites we seen with issues, it was actually keyframes they took. They didn't really trace over the sprite, so they took good animation work, and they took the same keyframes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Why copying keyframes? Isn't that one of the easiest things to do?
I guess so. Maybe I don't know who did the pixel art exactly.
Of course, yeah.
But
it might be easy, but it's
the
easier
fingers are a bit too much, I think, here.
Yeah.
But most of the others is just picking the keyframe and doing their own.
Right.
To AJ's point, I think that back in the 80s you could get away with it because there wasn't the internet around,
Yeah,
nowadays,
that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was mostly Japanese companies.
Yeah.
So maybe it was harder to to pick them up in trial.
Yeah, or we wouldn't have seen the original game it was copied from because it was only released in Asia or something,
And also video games were like some underground thing. Like
right.
who cares about this kid thing? It wouldn't fly nowadays.
Right.
So it was like that. Little Man Dumps, what a strange name, from America was actually dumping the data, and you were actually processing the data, right?
Yes, I took the ROM and
Right.
And before the ROM, I was already looking into the game. I did show you the device I made.
Yeah, I mean, now you show it to us because last weekend I didn't record it, so
yes.
Okay.
So I was looking at the game, but I couldn't disassembly it. So I made this. Basically, it records what the Mega Drive CPU does. So any operation the CPU does, I catch it, and afterward I can see a log file like this. You can see when the CPU starts, it reads a stack pointer at address 0 and 2. Then it reads the entry point of the program at address 4 and 6. That it jumps to that address and it starts instruction and so on. And you can see what's going on with the boot sequence of the game. And it was mid 21, I think.
So,
and already I could see what was going on with the game, with the sprite and so on.
And did you extract the audio the same way, or was it recorded from the console to be used in this ROM that is circulating now?
I didn't make this ROM. They took the audio from. There is a sound test, so I guess they took the sound test and recorded.
Gotcha.
Right, yeah. They just, for somebody who doesn't know, they used a modified variant of the Konami code to activate it.
Yes.
So if you input the Konami code and swap A and B while you input the Konami code, you actually get
it's
a new
B,
option.
B twice, I think.
Exactly. Yes. So it's a modified Konami code, and if you enter that, you get another option for sound test. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from there, they probably recorded directly from the console.
Yes.
I see.
Yes, because the tracker format isn't available.
I mean, if you have an original Mega Drive or in America Genesis, you actually can use the headphone output. I mean, it's super easy.
Yeah. You were saying that the MP3 versions that are going with the available released dump are kind of low quality. But I mean, if you were to copy that, if you were to record it, just use something like that. Plug in your headphone thing into a mixer or something, or into just like the audio in on your computer. You can get very high quality audio from that. So I don't know why it would be, unless they just took like a mic and just stuck it next to a speaker.
The new version that is that was made available, that at least the one that the guy who does the EverDrive, I forgot his name. Krix. Yes. I don't know how to spell to pronounce it.
Yeah, I think it's Krix.
Krikkz. So this new version has larger files of audio, and maybe it's because they just converted it to WAV. Yes. So they can play it just like a regular CD from the Sega CD expansion, but I'm not sure if it's WAV made from the MP3. And if that is the case, then you just get the same low quality audio.
Yes, it's the same. But if you know someone with the game, you can record.
That
the tracks again.
Great.
It's not an issue.
Someone to record in a lossless format.
Right.
Now
you've got the game. Get on this, Joerg. You've got the game.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got recording software.
And
you can also change the soundtrack. You can put country music or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually true what you say. The problem nowadays is many modern sound cards or onboard sounds on PCs don't have a true line in anymore. It's mostly an amplified microphone input, which you really can't use.
Right.
But I got a dedicated sound card with a dedicated line in input. I could actually record it from the headphone output of the Mega Drive 1. My problem, however, is, and perhaps we can talk about that for a hot minute, my problem is I own one of those poor console revisions, one of the first ever released that crashes when I start the game, which means black screen. So that means I can't do the recording, unfortunately, directly from the console, because it doesn't work on my V1 hardware. And I know, HPMan, you are not the hardware guru, but I wonder if you ever found something out about those weird boot screen self-test mechanics of the game.
Of Papriam?
Yes, of course. That's what we are talking about, right?
What? I don't know what the card does, but
I mean, it must be something weird because it doesn't work on some real hardware.
Yes, but I don't know if it's some security trigger or if it's just a regular code that crash.
Right. So
I will need to observe the thing with my device.
Right.
I've heard that some people trying to emulate to run with the EverDrive card. They could do it in some revisions of the hardware, and in others they couldn't. So there was this guy telling me that he could do it with a Tectoy Mega Drive, but he couldn't do it with a Japanese Mega Drive, with the original Mega Drive.
Yes, but maybe the crash is from the just regular code and not cartridge hardware. I don't know about it.
Okay.
So if it's a crash from code, it's going to crash with the EverDrive also.
Yeah, I remember when Quenelle released the game in December 2020, there was actually a FAQ page and there was a list of hardware versions where he was sure the game wouldn't run. So it was known from the start that it wouldn't run on some machines.
I think it was because he did chip before he made the page, and they had some feedback.
Right. So actually I had to get a Mega Drive version too, just because of this game, so I could actually play it. Was a real downer for me.
So you can get the audio because you've got the machine that can play it.
Yes, but I would have to use a grabber in between, which is which could interfere a bit with the audio quality.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I would prefer the first model because also the second model has the problem that this Mega Drive has a little bug, so some sound channels are twisted. Yeah.
Huh?
You didn't know
twisted? That? Define twisted.
Yeah, Sega did some design flaw when they connected the sound chip to the sound channels. They are swapped. Yeah, that is why some games sound distorted on the version 2 hardware.
Gotcha.
But if it is a complete swap, it's easy to fix, right?
Yeah,
you would think.
Yeah. There nowadays there are some soldering manuals you could download and fix.
I'm surprised they don't make
wiring.
I'm surprised they don't make like a plugin like my A500. It's a Rev 5, so it doesn't like the newer Kickstart chips. You got to like do some voodoo, wire one pin to another, and pull this one out and whatnot. But they make a thing now that you can just put the Kickstart in, plug it in, and it does all that kind of rewiring in this little socket that you put in. So I'm kind of surprised they wouldn't have done that with that. Like,
I mean, honestly, I never looked into it. Just for one game, didn't really think it was worth it.
Well, I'm sure it's probably soldered to the board. You'd have to unsolder the chip and then do some kind of magic. But still, you would think that there would be something that kind of they'd make it easier with. But I don't know.
I have no idea.
We're on a side quest now.
Side quest, yeah, derailing a bit, yeah. All right. So what else can you show us?
No. What do you want to see? I don't know, how graphics work, or or what the cartridge does. I don't know.
Whatever you found out and want to share with us, we got the time.
So cartridge does sprite engine basically. So what the Mega Drive does, it asks for say object. I want object 20 with animation 21 at position X, Y, and the cartridge sends back the data to transfer. Because to display something on the Mega Drive, you have to load the tile data in the VRAM. Maybe I can show it's going to be easier. And you are limited in transfer rate at each frame. You can transfer like 6 or 7 kilobytes. So you have to figure out what to transfer and when, and the algorithm can be taxing for 68K. So the cartridge does it. So when you look in VRAM, so the unit for sprites, it's 16 tiles. You have graphic blocks. I can show how they are stored. So it's small blocks like that.
Okay.
So this is a minimal unit to transfer, and you have the sheet, complete sheet. So you see, you have to pick multiple blocks and position the sprites at the correct location to rebuild the sprite, the final sprite. And so the key is you have sometimes lots of characters on the screen, and you cannot update all the characters all the time. You can't transfer that much data. So you have to choose which character to transfer to update. And what the game does is if there is no more budget to transfer data, it backs off to the previous frame that was already on screen.
So this processing is done by the Mega Drive hardware or the
no, it's in the STM.
Okay.
Mega Drive just asks, give me this this character at this position, and the work is done.
Yeah, I guess the Mega Drive itself would be not powerful enough to do it, right?
I think you can do it. I would have to try to replicate.
I mean, if you know how busy each screen is in Peprium, it's incredible. Much going on there, you know.
Yes, there is up to 16 objects.
You see.
And also it is the blocks are compressed in the cartridge.
Right.
You could maybe do it on the 68K, but it would take significant time, and you could not pack the data.
That's what you said at the beginning, because of the data being compact and compressed.
Yes.
It takes longer because you also have to uncompress it first before you can display it, right? And older computers and machines would do little tricks like sprite multiplexing and so on. But this is not possible here because the sprites are different. They are not similar.
Well, they can do. I think the Genesis Mega Drive can do like 80 sprites on screen, right?
Yes, there is a multiplexing trick in Paprium also.
There is? Okay.
Yes, there is.
Interesting.
They push to 94 sprites. So what happens is you have the status of the characters, the top health bar and so on. This top part. So the top part is 14 sprites. So 80 plus 14 is 94. So they recycle this top part later on in the bottom part of the screen. Not in every sequence of the game, but on select sequence they do
it. But of course, they have to do the multiplexing in a clever way, so you can't see that's actually reused from some other places.
Yes, and also you have to figure out the sprite order.
Right.
And which sprite you have to recycle sprites that are below a certain point of the screen.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I mean,
again, it's some CPU time you need to waste on it.
Right. So a lot of complexity is actually making all the logic and all those calculations, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, not all coders are good in handling such things. I mean, I know that some game conversions, for example, Double Dragon was very famous of it. The sprites were made from different sprites put together, but not really glued entirely seamlessly. So you would have like the upper half of the character move slightly to the left or slightly to the right, or you would have like an invisible line in the middle of the character. So it's something you really have to know what you do there.
Yes, STM is powerful enough, obviously, to do it. But if it was to run on the Mega Drive, it would be taxing the CPU. But in early days, they had it running on the Mega Drive. That we know it. They had a work in progress video with sprite engine. It was like 12 or 14 years ago. Some crazy old video from Watermelon. I did a job matter in May to see the CPU load. So you can see it's not very heavy. So you have one frame of time to do everything.
Okay.
If the meter goes down, it means CPU is taking more time, and if it goes up, CPU is taking less time.
Interesting.
But it may not be super accurate because emulation does things instantly, and the actual game maybe the STM takes some extra time to transfer. But you see, it's about half load on this side.
Interesting. So that's actually the load on the CPU.
Yes.
Okay. Huh. And those numbers are the address of the sprites, or?
Yeah, it's some memory address of the objects and so on.
Interesting.
Their status and some debugging information.
So the Mega Drive hardware is actually just doing the I/O stuff and just directing the info to the display, nothing else. Everything else is done by the STM.
STM does decompression, sprite engine with video RAM allocation, and sound. But input game logic is on the Mega Drive.
Oh, I see. So the Mega Drive calculates if you hit or didn't hit.
Yes, the bad hitbox are from the Mega Drive.
The bad hitboxes. Okay.
But one thing is, as I said, sometimes you don't have the budget to update a frame of a character, but the STM does not send commands to update it, but the Mega Drive doesn't know it hasn't been updated. So the Mega Drive is blind to the frame that is on screen. That's I think that's why hitbox are not precise, because the game doesn't know which frame is displayed. So you get a general. I think it's a general hitbox for this move, but it's not super defined like it would be in versus games or something like that.
About the audio, how does the extra channels get mixed with the main hardware in the Mega Drive?
There is 2 pins on the cartridge port. Basically, it's line in. Right?
So it's similar to what happens to the Famicom games with the special chips like
I guess so. The Mega CD does this.
Yeah.
Because the Mega CD has an extra PCM chip.
I see. Yeah.
And the 32X also has extra PCM chip. So Sega did it already back in the days.
I see.
Now something would interest me. I've seen a video from one YouTuber where he played the game on RetroArch, and he said that there are some graphic bugs in the game, like for example in stage 2, where you are in the subway, you have this moment where half of the screen is getting like swept clean with I don't know how to describe it, with scrambled graphics data really quick, and I always thought this was actually meant to be.
No. It's a bug from something that wasn't figured out in the emulation. And I need to test. The EverDrive also has issues with one or two stage.
So this is not happening on the original hardware?
No. You can look at long plays on YouTube, and it's not. No. It's not a buggy. It's not a buggy mess.
Okay. So I didn't remember it correctly, because I have to admit, last time I played it was like a year ago. Okay. So there are some bugs in the emulated version.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us what's actually the difference between the version you had for MAME in 2021 to the RetroArch version we have now?
I didn't make the audio, and my understanding is that RetroArch runs on infinite DMA, so they don't manage video memory. They just transfer everything at the time. And they had some some commands they didn't figure out.
Oh, now we're on the raw code there. Okay.
Right. So that's the RetroArch port. So you have commands. The game sends commands to STM, so you have to act on them. And if I pull my version, some commands they didn't add, like what didn't they do? Budget. Yes, there is a command to set VRM budget. I see. They don't have it. So if you would port their code to EverDrive, I don't think the game would work.
Why? Because it's too complex, or
no, because they rely on infinite DMA speed, and Mega Drive doesn't have infinite DMA speed. So you have to take limits into account. But I guess RetroArch doesn't simulate limits from the hardware.
So that means RetroArch emulation is not that accurate.
Yes, but probably my version is not accurate either. There's probably stuff going on in the algorithm for sprites that I did not figure out. I know what, as I said, we know what goes in, we know what comes out, but what's the recipe inside, I don't know.
So it's interesting. So, as I understand, a lot of such things are still a mystery, but despite some things are still a mystery, it somehow works anyway.
Yes. Some commands are for security, I think. Or things, or hardware things you don't need to bother with emulation. And there's like a command for network data. you don't need it because RetroArch isn't going to send network commands to PopM server. You have commands for fetching ranking data, listing access points, and so on.
So that's for the update via MegaWire?
Yes.
Okay.
There is ranking tables for if you let the game run.
So, considering there is stuff in the ROM that isn't being used right now because, like this MegaWire stuff and other possible stuff that maybe was included in the game and it was not made available yet. Why is the ROM the size it is? What takes the most space there? The graphics, the sound, what is it?
So you see, I love Fame MegaWire 4, and data is bad, but you can see it displays score tables when MegaWire is plugged for arcade and original. And the size of the game, it's not that big considering everything inside it. Because sprite data is already, I think, above 6 megabytes.
Compressed or uncompressed?
Uncompressed.
Okay.
But I don't remember packet size, but it still takes place. Samples for music is like 1.5 megabytes. Then you have samples for sound effects. And you have tile data for background stages. You have time lapse for backgrounds. And you have 24 stages with different sub stages. So it's not a small game.
Okay.
And the code is about 770 kilobytes, a bit under 800 kilobytes.
So I take from this interview, the more we go into it, it's not all that magical and super obscure to how it was advertised. It seems to be a lot simpler at some places, at least.
It's simple on the software side, but you have to pull out the cartridge. It's not easy.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I see. Huh.
One thing that's in the cartridge is you can license the game. If you on one E5, you put FF, and the game will boot with a Sega logo.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they did opt to have a Sega license.
You mean they did get or they didn't get?
They didn't get because you don't see the logo when you boot the game.
Right. Yeah, right.
Also, what they said for the game is like it's some super optimized game, but
exactly. Yeah.
It's all in C. There's like I don't know, 800 lines of assembly. So very small amount. And they had some curious things going on with the they used old compiler.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it gives not compiled code is not good as good as you will get with a modern compiler.
And also, I guess if it was an assembler directly, it would take up less resources, even, right? I guess because you can code more optimized in assembler.
Yes. So you go twice as fast or something.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, from what I've read, I don't know how much is true of that. From what I've read, is Quennell coded the last bits himself. So perhaps he doesn't know assembler. I don't know. It's just a guess.
Say again, please.
I guess from what I've read, Quennell coded the last bits himself. So perhaps he doesn't know assembler, but that's just a guess. I don't know.
He took two guys for assembly code. From the you look at the credits, you see them. And one of them did some interview. It's again a French guy.
Yeah.
And he did work on a sprite animation system. It was in C apparently from Gwenaël, and he did turn it into ASL assembly. And since now the STM does the job, it's got dropped.
Right. Well, it's good to know that when you pronounce a name, that I obviously pronounce it correctly, because I had a hard time learning how to pronounce his name. So, right, yeah. So, a lot is happening from France. Yeah.
Maybe you want to know something about the many claims of the game.
Sure. Yeah. Welcome back, AJ.
Thank you. Yes, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah. So, what can you tell us about the claims of the game?
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of expecting questions, but because you see a lot of things being told.
I mean, you guys can also ask questions. I mean, bring it on. Bring the questions on.
I've asked several questions here already.
I know.
I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Oh,
That's why you're here, though. You know it way better than we do.
Yeah. Mega Drive is not our turf. Our turf is C64 mainly. Yeah.
Older computer.
Older computer, exactly.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Mega Drive and the 664 are closer in time than the both of them to now, you know?
Yeah.
Perhaps, yeah. Well, I mean, we had one claim that was the Datenmeister ship, which is weird. Why would a French product have a German name? But never mind.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? They said it was this type of chip, and it's not. Right? Or they named it a Datenmeister or something, and it's just some other
which
nonsense.
means data master of the data for whatever reason. Yeah. What other claims? Yeah. Well, I mean, we also spoke about the size of the game. So
they put 80 megs on the cartridge.
Yeah.
But the flash is 64 megs.
You see? So even that isn't true. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and
but
we also yeah. Sorry.
You have 16 megs of RAM of memory.
Oh, yeah.
But usually you don't count memory game sizes.
Right.
Right.
Would you say the hardware in the cartridge is above the necessity of the game? You mean you could do more with the hardware?
I don't know, because it can run up to 200 megahertz, I think. This chip. But I don't know how heavy is the load of the chip. You would need to know, is he struggling to do it, or does he have a lot of free time?
Right.
We don't know that.
Right, yeah, because we didn't go about emulating the ship. We don't know how much it struggles to handle everything. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And to be entirely fair to Watermelon and the designers of Paprium, it is not a bad game. Nobody is saying that it's a terrible game.
Terrible, no, but I heard some people saying that it isn't as good as advertised. But I don't know.
I think it totally meets the advertisement. Well, it has some rough edges there, as we just learned when AJ went offline. The hitboxes are terrible, for example.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The most common thing you see is AI from the characters isn't really interesting to play against.
And some people also complain about it being a bit repetitive. I don't know.
Yes, you have a lot of enemies. They kind of act a bit the same, every one of them, and they tend to have a lot of life points.
Right.
So you are mashing the buttons through the whole games.
Right.
But some people like it's kind of old school. Some people like it.
Well, I do.
Everyone will have his opinion.
Yeah. I mean, to the credit of the game, you have different branches. You have multiple endings.
Yes.
That's things most games of that era didn't have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
So.
And I don't know that people would go through the effort of, doing all this stuff to reverse engineer and dump it and get it out there if it wasn't worth doing. If it was not a decent enough game, it'd be like, whatever, this is nonsense, but because it's playable and it's enjoyable to play, it gives, there is an incentive to cracking it, essentially.
It's some kind of technical curiosity for the Mega Drive.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Some novelty.
True.
But, I had, as of myself, I had more fun cracking it than playing it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like the journey.
Yeah.
The journey itself rather than actually the result.
Yeah.
Maybe the real Paprium were the friends we made along the way.
Wasn't that people said who got scammed by Tommy Tillrico?
Yeah.
That's what they said. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that part of the motivation to make the game run and dump the game was also because it took forever for the game to be released, and even after it was released, not everyone who bought the game got a game. So
Right.
maybe there was some, I don't know, justice sense to do this.
Well, sure.
You can tell us, HP, what was your motivation in doing it?
It was mainly the challenge.
The challenge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So someone told you can't do it, and you said
Yes,
no.
so someone had to do it.
Okay. I'm gonna prove them wrong.
Yes.
Interesting. Right. Yeah, I mean what really makes me wonder is why Quinnell didn't say anything about this. He didn't appear and say like, "Hey, I'm not on par with this activity,"
What are you gonna say about it? Like you come out and say, "Hey, man, I made this game that is awesome, and it's this much space. It takes up this much amount of memory, and it has special hardware for this and whatnot." And then some dudes come along and they break the game and put it out there. What are you gonna do? Come out and be like, "You can't do that." There's nothing, there's no PR that is good for you at that point.
At least he could send some DMCA takedown notices to the file hosters at GitHub and stuff.
Do you think he would? Do you think that? I don't think that he would.
I don't think you can DMCA emulation code.
Yeah. I mean, he did when Little Man Dump made his archive.org upload. He actually did send archive.org a notification to take offline the archive. Yeah.
So many sites, when they get DMCA claims, they automatically remove the content, and you can appeal, and it gets restored. But typically, you get your content gets deleted by default.
You see, that's exactly my point.
That's they take the DMCA claim for in good faith.
Yeah.
But they also, though, as if Gwinnell were to come out and do that, and issue DMCA's and try to fight against this, it's just going to draw more attention to the version that's out there that you can get.
Right.
Just like again, talking about like that Super Mario Brothers, when they reverse engineered that for the C64, that came out, and then Nintendo said, you can't do that, and they had to take it away. I don't know anyone that doesn't have it because of that.
That's true.
Yeah, it's kind of everywhere. Anyway, you can't. You can't spend your life doing DMCA.
Right.
Right.
And you're not going to DMCA in Russia or something. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So there was talk about releasing this game in other platforms like, I don't know, PC and PS4, PS5 and stuff.
Game Gear, I guess. Game Gear was the most.
Isn't Game Gear just
but the Game Gear would be a
Master System?
Oh, it was Game Gear. It was Game Gear. Yeah.
It was Game Gear.
But isn't the Game Gear just a portable Master System?
Yeah, with
Yes.
with better with a better VDP and also better audio.
Right.
Not,
Also,
not
Game
better,
Gear
but-
is one player only.
yeah,
Well,
but the Game Gear version would be, I guess, a different game than this.
Right.
Yes, but it's the Game Gear version is done, I think.
But it's not available.
Yes. I don't know if you know the story. It was done by again a French guy.
Everybody is French nowadays.
Yeah,
Everybody is.
really.
If you can't beat them, join them. And he's like a Master System and Game Gear guru or something. And he was on the Papriam Kickstarter, and he saw Game Gear Papriam, nice. I'm going to buy it. And after the Kickstarter finish, he gets contacted by Gwenel to do the game. That he just bought on the Kickstarter.
So he was.
So he was selling.
Okay.
He was selling nothing.
But do you think that if the game was to be released on, I don't know, PS4 or PS5, would it be the same game but just with an emulator, put together to run the game, or would it be a different code, a different?
It could be anything. If you want to rework the game, you can rework the game. I don't know.
I guess C compilers are also available for other platforms, right?
Well, but it depends really who's doing it. Like if Watermelon was talking about putting it onto different platforms, then I would say it could be different code and new graphics assets and music and whatnot. But if it's like an independent hobbyist or a cracker or anything like that that's going to port it there, then redoing all the assets in the code is essentially just making a different game. Like just call it something else. Like why even make it Paprium? Because at that point, it's you're making a whole ass game.
But the game is in C, so there is no excuse to not have it done by now.
Right. I mean, he said in the Kickstarter updates, when he still did some, that they would do a special made emulator for the other platforms. So that was the plan, at least.
Yes, but I knew nothing about the game, and I made it run in 10 weeks, about 10 weeks.
See.
So, how long do you think it's going to take him when he knows everything about the game?
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. If he was less bullshitting, it would only be half as interesting.
If he was smart,
interview and
if he was smart, he would just call you up and be like, "Yo, hey, can you I'll pay you to just do this for me."
I think I trolled him a bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this a couple of times. If he was actually shipping those units he sold, he would be a made man, and he would have a lot better business than all this drama going on. So
yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
It's all a bit self-made, and we wouldn't be sitting here with HPMan talking about how I got the game running on RetroArch and how I worked around the encryption, then nobody would be doing that, because hey, I can just order the game and get it on my doorstep in a week.
Yes. Everybody does this, but not Gwenel.
Exactly. So
lots of people sell Mega Drive games now.
Right.
And they get dumped, but they still do good business. I guess they do more games.
Yeah,
I mean, just
because as a consumer, if I see a developer that is actually working hard to create things for a platform I like, I would rather give them the money and support their work. But when you've got somebody that dicks around and vanishes for a decade, and then only comes back because Joerg tracks down his mom. Like, I don't want to give that guy my money.
Yeah.
So some people have orders from Pierre Solar reprint.
Yeah.
And that's like from 10 years ago. And it's a reprint from a standard game. There's just a little mapper in the cart. So, why is it not shipped?
Yeah, I mean that's another story. I mean, the first versions of Pier Solar were horribly produced, so they are degrading themselves after some years. So that's another horrible story.
Yeah, I don't know, but they did a second print already, maybe a third, I don't remember. But last order batch, it did disappear.
Yeah. I mean, I just know about it because I've read an interview of one of those cartridge designers who said he looked at the design from the Pier Solar cartridge and he was horrified by how horrible the cartridge design was. You know,
It has to do with voltage levels, I think.
with what?
Voltage.
Voltage,
Voltage,
yeah,
yeah.
voltage,
Voltage
yeah.
leveling.
We're talking
Voltage
about like the actual like board inside the card, not like the case
Yes.
itself.
Right, we are talking
Yeah.
about the PCB, the circuit board.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because Mega Drive is 5 volts,
Yeah.
and flash chips nowadays they are
3.3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we were
So
talking
you
about
have
before with the cartridges that are apt to burst into flames.
Yeah. Yeah, because Capcom, when they did the re-release of Street Fighter 2 and Mega Man, they actually put a warning
Yes.
on the back of the cartridge that it actually can put your original console under fire. So
That's always nice.
But they had a voltage. They had a circuit for voltage adaptation.
yeah.
So I guess it's just some disclaimer to be safe.
Yeah, of course. The cartridge never destroyed my console, but
It just gives it just introduces real risk into the gaming experience.
Yeah, so after
right.
after vibration, you got fire.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Force feedback was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 20 years ago already.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I think I just saw one of those graphic glitches I spoke about earlier. Well, can you say anything, I don't know if anything at all, about this little fake game that was put on first boot up?
Yes, it gets you get the game when the EEPROM the save chip is empty. So the first time you play the game, you get the mini game, and after that, it only plays if you fail a security check at the start of the game.
And it fails the security check on a lot of fake consoles or aftermarket emulation consoles.
No, what the game does with clone systems, when the game launches, it detects everything, like what type of console it is. Do you have a Mega CD? Do you have 32X and so on? And it detects clones, because sometimes clones don't have some stuff right.
Right.
And what the game does, it's kind of shitty thing. It removes some part of the game. Like sometimes you have like scaled objects in the foreground.
Right.
If you are detected as a clone, then they don't show up.
Interesting.
Oh.
And you have a slowdown at the start of stages when you are on a clone system. But it's all it's just the game doing it. it's not a problem with the console. The game saw you had the clone, so the game punishes you.
So he on purposely makes the game worse.
Yes.
Oh.
And
not worse, but compatible with the hardware, right?
And with in his FAQ, he said the game is so powerful it cannot run on clone systems. But it's just the game sabotaging himself.
Yeah, so it's on purpose.
Yes.
Interesting.
Which is weird. Why would you limit your audience if you want to sell as many copies of your game as possible?
It's just to brag about the chip on the cartridge.
Yeah. Right. Jeez.
Interesting.
So when you have a scaling effect, also, it doesn't show up with clone systems. But you have a cheat code on the main menu to disable clone systems.
Oh, there's a cheat code for that? You can actually
yes.
disable that?
Oh, dag.
I published it 4 years ago.
Okay. So you have to send us some links so we can mention that in the podcast description, if you like.
Yeah.
I have to dig up to it, but we could
sure. Take your time, dig it up. I mean, this won't be released before August, so you still got some days.
Okay.
Yeah, take your time.
But
right.
Yeah, it's a very shitty move for the
Yeah, whatever you want to share, feel free to share. I mean, this is like a very insightful interview for me.
I had the code for the slowdown. I don't remember where is it. But, so this is the disassembly of the game. So that's what you get when you crack open ROMs.
Yeah.
If only I knew C.
Your daily business.
Yeah.
I don't remember where is it, but each frame, if you have a clone system, you get 2 or 3 extra frames.
To make the game slower, actually.
Yes.
So if you removed those, I would say, fuckeries, you could actually make an improved version of the game that runs better on clone consoles, right?
Yes, but you have the cheat code to re-enable everything.
Right,
so
but
it's not. You see, when it detects a third system, in the music player, you have a small picture of the system, and you get a third if you have a clone. And if you get detected, you get to skip some objects.
Oh yeah.
I see.
So they actually call the clone consoles third systems in the code. Is that it?
No, that's my comment.
Okay.
When you open the ROM, you only get numbers, like
I see.
and you need to figure out what it is and
I see.
put names to
make
it understandable.
Wow.
I saw a box end that was just wasting CPU cycles. Just lots of no operations.
Yes, sometimes it could be for something.
Yeah, I mean, it must be the first Mega Drive game I've ever heard of that makes the game purposely slower and more buggy on clone consoles.
Yes, but it was to prove the chip superiority. Or maybe he's such a fanboy of Sega, he wants to
Yeah, I mean, if you can't, fake it till you make it, right? If you can't prove it by playing fair, don't play fair. That's
Yes, but someone took a look into the game, so
yeah. Now, after this,
no, you look stupid.
exactly after this interview, all the secrets are out.
Yeah.
So nobody can hide anymore.
The main menu screen. It's kind of big for just a menu.
That whole thing is a menu?
That's the title screen with a.
Good grief.
That's just the title screen.
And I'm seeing something. Okay, when it shows after this stuff has all gone through and there's text scrolling up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I seeing like a sloppy?
It is this screen.
Okay. Now the part where it's kind of scrolling past like a landscape and there's text scrolling up, given like backstory, I guess.
Yes.
Am I seeing a sloppy screen cut, or am I hallucinating?
On top of text.
Yeah. As the text gets to the top, it disappears, but there's like a flicker as it disappears, which looks to me like an ugly screen cut.
No, it's for CRT screens.
Yeah, that screen right there. Oh.
Yeah, it blinks some of the lines.
Yeah, and at the top when it goes out, I feel like it's sloppier than that.
Yes, but it's like deterring on the Mega Drive. You know, it's to make it on CRT. It shows like half transparent. It's on purpose.
Right. This flickering doesn't happen on CRT.
Okay.
All
right.
But it does happen on CRT, but it's not as visible as.
Yeah, you can't see it.
It looks to me. It looked to me almost like a screen cut, because if you don't put a small delay after a screen cut, depending on what's happening, if you're playing music, if you're doing some kind of routine or whatever, where that cut occurs is going to be like it's going to jitter. Depending on how much raster time you're using to do something, and that's what it looked like to me.
There is the coder of the team speaking.
Yes. Well. Also, one thing about the game is for the scrolling, like all the planes, you have some stages have a lot of planes, like when you play Sonic. You have a lot of planes going at different speeds.
Right.
And usually you do a score table in the Mega Drive. So you have a table in the video RAM, and you give a score position for every pixel of the screen. And they didn't go this way to save some VRAM. They do it with interrupts. They do interruptions mid-screen, and they move the plane.
We spoke about claims earlier. One claim I remember, he always said the game experience is subpar on PAL. The game is designed to run in real time on NTSC. Can you say something about that?
I don't think there is a difference in PAL or NTSC. On PAL systems, you have more DMA available, so maybe animations are a bit better. Because you can transfer more each frame.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you have 60 Hz versus 50 Hz and that stuff. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So you didn't find anything that would make the game much worse on European systems compared to Americans and Japanese.
No, it's the same. When you play in Japanese mode, you have some extra. Like at the start of a stage, you have the name of the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Instead.
Yeah, because there is a cheat code where you can enable that.
Yes, you can enable Japanese, but you have a
Right.
combo meter also.
Right.
Small details, but it is just software. It's not because your system is special.
Right. Yeah, I see. I guess after this interview, Quinnell will have a hard time selling his claims in the future.
Yes. I think he already has a hard time.
Yeah.
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 I mean, what else is he planning to sell in the future at this point? I don't know where.
Well, he has this dolphin game AM96 that he announced 5 years ago.
Oh,
It's
5 years.
American Mega Brawl.
Pardon?
It is American Mega Brawl.
Yeah. Right.
AMB.
Yeah.
Well, if he announced it 5 years ago, that means we've got another probably 17 years before it's released.
Right.
So
right.
by then, probably people have forgotten all about this. They're like, Paprium, what's that?
Yeah.
Well, he managed to do 2 Kickstarters with success, even after not delivering what he promised. So.
Yeah.
But what you don't know, because I never told anybody, he was asking me like, can you ask your people that you know from German game media to make, an announcement about the Kickstarter and so on. And I was talking to the mainstream media in Germany because I know them people working for them. And they told me, we Germans, we can forgive, but we won't forget. So we won't mention this game ever again in our publication for a lifetime. So when it comes to Germany press coverage, he got 0. And I mean literally 0. So
it's because he's French. You are. Germany has a problem with France. What's going on?
I mean, you are not the first French person, Quinnell, either. I mean, we had other people like Proke Studio who also are French, and they have no issue whatsoever. They produce their games, they publish them, and they even ship them within a timely manner.
Yeah, they are crazy people.
Crazy, yeah. On the other hand, it's so sad because Quinnell is such a brilliant mind, but he doesn't do very well on the business side.
Yes, is the code is it's not bad. It's not super optimized, but it's good. It works. The game you can say the game doesn't work or crashes or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's an issue with business. It's more of like almost his public relations, because he just kind of comes out and says stuff and shoots himself in the foot a bit.
Yeah.
But people say he's not good at communicating.
Right.
But that is not true. When he wants money, he's really good at communication.
Right.
When you look at the Kickstarter, the communication was excellent.
Until February. Since February, there was no update.
No, I mean during the campaign.
Yeah, during the companion.
He's a selective communicator.
Yeah, doing the companion. Then he did an update for 2 years, like every couple of months, a weird video.
Yes, but he's very good. He does a nice fun videos. And so on.
Exactly.
But once he got the cash, it's over.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, we will see. We will see about that. All right. Wow. Well, I can just say thanks for taking the time and digging so deep into the internal guts of this game with us.
Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome.
I mean, I guess I've never seen so much inside a game as today.
I decompiled, I disassembled Street Fighter 2 also.
Yeah.
And Capcom left some bugs. It's not good.
Yeah. Well, hopefully now that we have the game on RetroArch, and I saw by the Ukrainian guy that does the EverDrive that now he also got the music working on the EverDrive. Hopefully, more people will have access to the game and get what they paid for.
Yeah.
In 2012 onwards, So, now one question you said in between that the Game Gear version is already done. Or
The word on the street is it's done. But now with Gwenwell, maybe it's only version 1 that is done. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the question. Exactly, that's my question. If it's done, why they don't release it? Do they have to wait for Quenelle to reappear or something?
Yes, because when Gwenwell picks people, you have it's a real business. You have contracts and
Right.
so on.
Publishing contract and stuff.
Yes.
Right. I guess so. Yeah. It's such a shame. So the game is done and they can't release it. That's a shame.
Let's say the year 8A2.
Yeah, it's all numbers are in hexadecimal.
8A2. That's 2210.
Yes.
Oh my God! I just converted hexadecimal to decimal in my head. That's amazing.
Wow. I mean, you are a coder after all. You ought to know, right?
Well, yeah, there's a monitor open on my 64 behind me because I've been neck deep in that for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, wow, that's
holy shit.
Vaguely impressed with myself.
This is scary.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So.
Well, when you look, Paprium Mega Drive was done when Kickstarter started. It's not delivered. It's not out either. So I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea either. But well, I really would like to see the Game Gear game because I paid for it. I really would like to say it. Yeah. I was Game Gear. Oh my God. I mean, you remember we did the interview with the woman who did the music for the Game Gear version. You remember?
I don't remember yesterday, Joerg.
Okay, you don't remember. Okay. But I think
I'm sure I remember. I'm sure if I see her name, I'll know exactly what you're talking about.
I think her name was Polaria.
Okay, I don't think I was there for that one.
You were there for that one.
I was there for that one?
Yeah, you were. Let me just look that up. Polaria Poyon.
Yeah, I know that. I know the name. Yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah. And you were there for
We've done like 220 of these.
Yeah, exactly. And
over 10 years.
Yeah, and she was contracted for making the Game Gear version of the music. Yeah. All those tables look like SQL tables to me. You wanted to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, really.
The guy who got again his mom. Do you remember me from 5 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
I also pre-ordered a special, cheaper Brazilian release of the Mega Drive version. So
you ever see the movie Better Off Dead? with John Cusack?
No.
There's a recurring theme throughout it in that the paper boy, he's this little kid dressed all in black on a bicycle, and he wants to get paid for delivering the papers, and throughout the entire movie, things will happen and he'll turn around and the kid's just there on his bike going, "I want my $2." And then they run away, or it's throughout the whole movie this keeps happening, and it's every time I see it I'm like that's Joerg looking for his games. Like he turns the corner, $2. Like it's just
yeah.
So this is the two frames delay. When you are on a third system, there's some checks. It doesn't happen every time. Some RNG, but when you're unlucky, you get 2 frames delay. Each frame.
I like how you call clone systems third systems. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I know. You mean third party consoles. I know. Yeah.
What you can do if you want to disable the ROM, you can switch the instruction.
Right.
It is a branch equal. So it's if bit 0 of D0 is set, or is not set, it branches. And if the bit is set, you have 2 frame delay, but you can change with an unconditional branch. But it will cut this part.
Interesting.
That's fascinating.
All right.
So where can people go to find out about this, and while it still exists before there's a DCMA removal notice done?
You mean this?
Yes. Just everything that you're doing. Yeah.
This is my disassembly file. It's not available.
Well, I mean, like, where can people? Is there like a repository or somewhere where people can follow along and learn about this and what you do?
This I don't think I could publish this without trouble, because it's like the whole program of the
yeah.
So you mean because you're also in France, you are easy to grab, kind of? Yeah. Well, I mean, I contacted you over X. I don't know.
We can link his X account. That works.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I have the main version on my Git. You can get it. And,
that's what I'm talking about. Not necessarily like where can they see everything that we're showing here, but just where do you have a website or something that we can link?
Yeah, if you could send me the link to the GitHub, that would help.
I will link you the Git.
Cool.
Sure.
It is already on my Git.
As I said, on the GitHub. Yeah, people just have to compile it. Yeah.
And I think Little Mandums has the ROM file, because it's not the same.
Yeah, it's on a MediaFire.
Yes, it's not the same as the RetroArch ROM, and also it's not as polished. It's more kind of a research thing.
Right. Yeah.
But you can look at the code if you want to see what goes on.
Yeah. As I understood you, Little Man Dump is more the hardware guy, and you were more the software guy of the team, right?
Yes. I randomly met him on X.
Exactly.
Following Paprium news, but it's not like association.
Yeah.
Just a random dude meeting on the internet.
I mean, with all the powers combined, thanks to you and other people, now we have a working RetroArch version. As I said, a compilable MAME version. So hey,
Yeah.
It's better than 0, right? So
Yes.
awesome.
I guess.
Okay, so we will link to your X account.
I've never
Scraping
said
work.
dump so much in a podcast before.
Yes, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. The how to say, the scrutiny of the topic. So it's also the first time I called somebody HPMan instead of the real name. So it's a lot of firsts today. But
we're gonna get a lot of people listening or watching this podcast that don't understand what the dumping scene is really about, and they're coming for a totally different dumping scene.
Right. All right,
No,
HPMan. So this
okay.
would be it. Thanks a lot. Right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
sitting
for
with
having me.
us. Yeah.
Okay. So bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.